Out with the old, in with the new. Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB, and this is our all-new, fully remodeled garage with Gladiator Garageworks. I'm gonna go over all the updates we've made to our garage and how they compare to our previous setup. The garage gal and I loved our last setup. Okay, it was 84% me and 16% her, and there was no task that Workbench and garage in general couldn't handle. But after checking out the Gladiator Garageworks website, we started to see many better ways to organize our garage, gain some much needed space back, and achieve that sleek look that we were after. There's a lot to unbox with this garage makeover, so let's get into it. It just occurred to me that I never gave you a garage tour prior to this renovation, so let's start there. Starting here in the corner, you can see my ladder and my other equipment is just crammed in there. Behind this big shelf, I would hide my snowblower. This big unit created some shelving space up top at the expense of sticking way out into the garage. You can see my lawnmowers are lined up pretty much right in the middle of the floor. I would put my leaf blower up top, plus my gas tanks and other small lawn equipment. Next was my cutting table. I would roll this out into the driveway, make my cuts, and leave the dust outside. Below it, I would hide my pressure washer and my generator. Now, the workbench was the busiest spot in the garage. You can see all the tools that I have stacked up on top, hanging, and all around on that workbench. I did so many repairs, builds, and other DIY projects on that workbench, but after 8 years, it was starting to show its age. Check out the dark area up here on top. You can see where I spent most of my time. That 8-foot workbench was an absolute monster. Next up is my massive display case cabinet. Along this wall, there's another storage cabinet, the infamous traffic parking light, and the hated hose reel. On the final wall is our kayaks and our fitness equipment. We also kept our garbage cans here in the corner. These were our first priority to get outside because they simply just take up too much space. We began our renovation by digging out room for a path on the side of the garage. Here is where we had some concrete poured, and now we keep our garbage cans outside. This path turned out awesome and freed up a ton of space inside. This was a total game changer. Would you take a good look at that? Later that week, we both had a Saturday free and we went to work on the garage. We began by taking everything out, and I mean everything. It took about a good 90 minutes to get everything out of there. There was that much stuff inside. This was actually a very good thing to do because I went through all my tools, and if there was a tool that I haven't touched in the last year or two, it went up for sale, and I sold quite a few tools off. We then removed the floor molding so we wouldn't ruin it during the next step. After all the molding was removed and everything was out, we decided to pressure wash the entire concrete floor. We did consider getting one of those epoxy floors or surface coatings, but I know for a fact that I would ruin that floor in less than a year. I spill all kinds of stuff, drop heavy tools, and bring all kinds of lawn equipment in here. And I have seen other garages with those floors recently installed, and they are already falling apart and showing wear. This is a working garage, so I am okay with a concrete floor. I just want it clean. This floor has never been thoroughly cleaned, so this pressure washer pulled up all kinds of gunk from the surface. The concrete is now brighter. This did get rid of some smaller stains and oil spots. Any larger oil spots were reduced. Some stains that I thought would never come out actually did. So I was happy after doing this step. To speed up the drying time, the garage gal and I squeegeed the water out while the other was pressure washing. It was pretty hot outside, so the garage floor dried within an hour or so. Then we reinstalled the molding really quick. Then it was time to do some unboxing. Next up was the workbench. I was excited for this one. This table is heavy. It can hold up to 3,000 pounds. Now that the floor was clean, the next unboxed item was the Gladiator flooring. I rearranged it a little differently than you see here. You'll see that later in the video. This is a durable flooring. It clicks together with some effort and is easy to clean when dirty. All right, we have made it to about the halfway point, and I have one wicked mess going on here in the garage. You can see that I got the new workbench up and it's ready to go. I've already put it to good use and I got plenty of tools and stuff up on it. The big workbench that was here, took it out of the garage with the garage gal, and then we sold that really quick within a couple of days. I did a lot of jobs with that workbench and it made me a lot of money over the years. The last one was actually a little too deep and it made reaching items in the back a little harder. This one's a little narrower and I can reach everything just fine. I got my other workbench here ready to go. I just simply have to set the height adjusters and then it'll be in its spot. Still going through all my tools here, organizing things just the way I want them. Still got plenty to do down here too. I am absolutely loving these brand new Gladiator cabinets. They're super durable, hold about 40 pounds on each shelf, and I can fit a lot of stuff inside. Check it out. Here's how they go together. I'll tell you what, guys and gals, these things come very well sealed. Very impressed with how Gladiator really wraps up everything so that way they avoid bends, breaks, or anything with their items. Lots of styrofoam inside, thick cardboard. They package these things up right. That's a lot of packaging material. Next up were the Gladiator gear loft shelves. I cleared out that area of the garage and made some space. Using the Gladiator gear track system, these shelves mount themselves right to the wall. These gear lofts can hold up to 100 pounds each. I wanted to have 2 of these shelves up off the ground and make room for the mowers below. Then it was time to focus on the other front corner of the garage. This is where I planned to put the Gladiator gear track. I had a 2x4 with cutout PVC tubes here, but they were mounted close together and they made tool storage a pain. So much for that DIY project. These gear tracks were super easy to install, and with the versatility of their hooks, you can space them out according to your needs. This gear track went up within minutes. Check this thing out. I absolutely love how now all the tools are hanging up and nothing is on the floor. The variety of clips that they give you that mount on that gear track make it really easy to get everything up there, and there's a spot for everything. All my shovels, all my rakes, all my brooms, and even my trimmer. It's the little things that make me happy, and this makes me happy. Coming to the finish here, you can see me hanging the wall control steel pegboards. My last set of pegboards were getting worn out. These are very heavy duty and I love the blacked out look. These pegboards are going up for all of my frequently accessed tools. Lastly, I installed a 7-outlet heavy-duty power strip with fast-charging USBs. It is surge protected and is mountable to the wall. You can't have a workbench and nowhere to plug in your tools. I feel like I'm on MTV Cribs right now. Time to check out the final product. Let's go! I am blown away by two things in this garage. Number one, the level of organization, and number two, the amount of space we gained back. I think we gained something like 50 to 60 square feet back, and in a regular 2-car garage, that's huge. Everything has its own spot, and we have way more room in here when we park a car inside. Starting out here in the top corner, we kept the ladder up high and out of the way. I now have a big hook up top to hang my spreader. This thing has been in the way thousands of times. I'm constantly pushing it out of the way. I'm so happy it has its own spot now. Down low, the mowers are now right to the wall. I have now regained about 5 or 6 feet here in the center of my garage. Up on the high gear loft, I hid some lawn equipment, some tarps, my car ramps, and some pesticide. On this lower gear loft shelf, I have my leaf blower plus my gas tanks. The leaf blower does hang off the end a little bit, but at least it's still up and out of the way. You can see that I laid my flooring out a little differently than I had earlier in the video. I like this longer look a lot better. Plus it helps me keep all my tables all at the same level. Speaking of level, this entire garage floor is extremely unlevel. From that corner, it slants down drastically. In fact, when I purchased these workbenches, I had to be sure that they came with levelers on the bottom. The floor drops as much as an inch every 8 feet, so having levelers were really important. My last workbench wasn't level at all because of the floor, and items would just roll right off of it. Next up is my cutting table. I really needed a table that I could push out into the driveway with my saw on it. This 4-foot workbench is heavy duty. Gladiator does not make caster wheels for these smaller tables, so I had to bolt some boards on and mount on my own wheels. And here is the world famous Garage Gear Gladiator 8-foot workbench. I found that because of the way I have everything organized now, I actually have more tabletop space. Here are the Gladiator cabinets. You can see that the garage gal went ahead and labeled everything. The smaller totes do help me keep all my tools and their accessories organized. Lots more hiding up in this cabinet as well. Loving the organization. Looks like a future video hiding up top. I have my Pittsburgh socket set hiding right up on top of this cabinet. And these lower cabinets are a little deeper. In this cabinet, we have my toolbox, my sander, my other toolkits up here on top, and my saws down below. Down below, I have my biohazard garbage can. I was walking by this guy at a flea market, and I love the fact that it's a step pedal, it's sealed on the top, and it's solid metal. It usually raises an eyebrow every time somebody sees it for the first time. To the right, we have my air compressor and my hose reel. And to the right of that, we may have one of my favorite tool cabinets in the entire garage. This gear drawer is awesome. It's nice and deep with locking caster wheels. Check out how organized this whole thing is. Love this. Awesome. Oh my God, the organization just keeps on coming. Look at this. I love it. All my tools all laid out. I know exactly where things are. Look at that, all my saws all lined up. Perfect. Down below, some of my heavier stuff. This is my grease gun. Some of my heavier tools are down there. Awesome. I'm sure I'll be filling these drawers up quick. Love that. May have to go shopping for some more tools. I will be sure to have all of these Gladiator products plus all the tools I used in this remodel linked down below in the description. I did have to move a few signs around. This one's my favorite. I am a big Marvel fan and I love Iron Man. On the back wall, I have 2 more Gladiator cabinets. Your clean and appropriate guesses as to what I have inside those cabinets are welcome down in the comments below. To the right, the parking traffic light stayed put, still works fine, and parks the vehicles in the garage perfectly. That's a video I did a while back, and I'll have that video linked down below. The last Gladiator item that we picked up is this massive 6-foot gearbox. This thing is incredibly deep, and you can fit so much stuff inside. Look at all that. Got all my detailing towels, car cleaning supplies, waxes, all my sprays and lubricants, paint supplies, electrical supplies, some other pesticides, fertilizers, and other tools down below. This cabinet alone holds a lot of stuff. And down below we have the hated hose reel. I hate that thing. Your days are numbered, pal. I would love to get an automatic rewinding hose reel here. That would just make my day. On our last wall is our kayaks and our fitness equipment down below. Some of you out there have been actually wondering what I do for a living. living. I'm actually a personal training teacher at a career and tech school. And then in the evenings, I teach fitness classes with my wife. And then YouTube too. If you want to check out our fitness page on Facebook or Instagram, it's called Fit Like a Gladiator. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Last but not least, we have the famous snowblower, which I've done a bunch of videos on. I'll have those linked down below in the description. I like to cover the engine like this in the summertime just because I clean it so well. I don't want to see it dirty in the fall. It's just my thing. I am planning on getting an entire cover for this snowblower, so stay tuned for a future video on that. And finally, the gear track. There's probably 20 or more tools hanging on that gear track, and it holds them all just fine. All these tools up and out of the way with a place of their own. In the wintertime, some of these tools will go down into the basement, and then the snow shovels will be up and all over this thing. I am even more excited than before to be in my garage. Everything is so much more organized, and I have way more room to get around projects in here. All the Gladiator products in my garage are super durable and will last me a very long time. I am extremely happy with how everything turned out inside, and I may just be sleeping in here too. Just kidding, but seriously. Well, garage guys and gals, that's how we remodeled our garage with Gladiator Garageworks. Be sure to follow me further at GarageGearJB on Instagram. Know someone that's looking to do a garage remodel? Then please share this video with them. Be sure to check out all the products that were used throughout this video down in the description below. If you like this video, give me one of these. It's like right here. And if you are feeling the vibe and you want to be part of the tribe, subscribe so that way you can stay up to date with everything going on here at Garage Gear. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage. This place is just awesome.